It's the heart of Virgo season. Well, hello there, Enchanted One, and welcome to Spirit Throw Me a Bone, your spiritual lifestyle channel, where every week we come together to cultivate our connection with the enchanted universe and coax spirit to throw us a bone. And you know that we do this in three ways. First, we create sacred space and signal our intention to receive gifts of enchantment from spirit. Second, we flex our enchantment muscles and we consult the oracles of astrology and the tarot. And third, we welcome young self. And with a beginner's mind, we explore all manner of metaphysical and consciousness-raising topics. So let's get started right away tonight by doing what we always do when we open our stream on Spirit Throw Me a Bone. Let's create sacred space together. So, if you haven't already, snuggle up by your altar. And if you don't have an altar, just create one on that table right next to you. Maybe if you have a candle handy, light a candle, place a sacred object or two on your makeshift altar, and join us as we create sacred space together, because this is your time. This is sacred time. Okay, so here I am. Can you see me over here by my altar? Live right back here. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to rearrange some things here. We got out of order. There we go. Have our direction. Right. Okay. So let's create a sacred container, okay? Hope you can hear me pretty well. So we're going to create sacred space. We're going to create a virtual circle, an energetic circle. So imagine, if you will, a blue light creating a circle around the physical space you occupy right now. And also think about it too as creating a virtual circle, encompassing and enclosing all of us in sacred space together. I'm going to start clockwise in the east. I'm going to call the four directions and the powers of the elements and the watchtowers, as they're called in some traditions, to hold sentinel around our circle. Keep the distracting energies out and the sacred magical in. So let's get started. By the air that is her breath, welcome east. By the fire of her bright spirit, welcome south. By the waters of her living womb, welcome west. And by the earth that is her body, welcome north. As above, so below, we are in sacred. Well, welcome, Enchanted Ones. It is Virgo season. Let's talk Virgo season tonight, guys. So, what do we know about Virgo? First of all, let me just check in here and see who's joining me. And then we will get started right away, catching up and learning and discussing Virgo season a bit. So please go ahead and make a comment. If you've watched my last couple of streams, you know that there's been something wonky going on with my comments. I don't know what it is. I worked on it tonight, hoping that that I solved the problem, although I'm not sure. So if you can go ahead and pop a comment in, just say hello, let me know that you're here, and I'll know that I'm actually going to be able to interact with you on the comments if they're coming through. If by chance you have my text and you're commenting and I'm not seeing it, pop me a text too. And then I might just actually have to log on to Facebook here to see what's going on. But anyhow, it is a rainy day today, all day long here on the East Coast in Northern Virginia. We've had some nice weather, reprieve from all that heat here. And but doesn't it feel like the season has turned a bit, right? You can just kind of smell fall in the air, and kind of a cool and rainy day here today. But I don't know, it's kind of refreshing. What do you think? I think it's nice to have a bit of a change. And it's been one heck of a summer for many of us, for yours truly for sure. And I'm just looking forward to the turn of season. So, you know, we're not exactly at the beginning of Virgo season. You know, the astrological season, the cusp usually is around the 21st, 22nd of the month. So we've been rolling with these Virgo energies for a while. But it's a new moon coming up tomorrow. So that's what we're going to be talking about. And so let's just move right into some astrology. What do you say? Okay, well, I don't even know if I'm on Facebook right now, because it is not showing me this Facebook feed, which is really quite disturbing here. Let me check my other controls here. I just got a text from somebody. It says I'm online. Huh. It's not coming up on my feed. Who's texted me? Yay, I'm on Facebook. I don't know why my Facebook won't show it to me, but I'm glad. Thank you, Anne. Thank you, Anne. So, let's see here. Let me get back to where I was. Let's, yeah, see, like I am not. Oops, let me get back to my, there we go. Okay, so we're going to be talking about this new moon in Virgo, you guys. Let me see if I can bring a camera on here so you can see who's talking to you. That would be me. All right. Okay. All right. We're going to go back here. Thanks for your patience. Thanks for your patience. I appreciate it. All right. So what I was trying to do was I want to come back here like this, and I'm going to do this and put my face on there, but a round one. How about that? and I'll move over here so you can see me when I'm talking to you. So, so Anne, are you making a Facebook comment and then you're just not coming through again? Oh, this is so freaking annoying. Why? Why am I not getting my Facebook comments? Okay, because I imagine that you're commenting on Facebook, but I'm not seeing it. I'm gonna go there now, see if I can get on here. No. You know, they changed Facebook pages, and it's really annoying. Um, yeah, very strange here. I don't know why I can't see my own live feed. Happening now. Okay. So, why isn't it giving me the live feed? I don't understand. Oh well. Oh well, it's good to know you're here. Thank you so much for texting me, Anne, and let me know who's here. Um, well, I don't know. You can go to YouTube if you want and comment from there. There's no guarantees, I guess, that that's going to work. I got to figure this out. I don't know what's up with that. But we're going to talk Virgo season, guys. So, see here, what do we know about a new moon? A new moon is when the sun and the moon are together in the sky. So, by definition, the new moon during any season, like a Virgo season, that means the sun and the moon are both in Virgo, okay? As opposed to the full moon, which will come up on the 20th, when the moon and the sun are in opposition with one another, then the full moon will be in the opposite sign of Virgo because the moon itself will be in Pisces. So, but tonight we're talking primarily about the new moon. And so this is a new moon in Virgo. And what do we know about Virgo? What planet rules Virgo? We know that the planet Mercury rules Virgo. Okay. So it's Mercury ruled. So we know Mercury is the planet of communication and transactions and sorting and analyzing and organizing, all that kind of stuff. Now, there's another sign ruled by Mercury, and that's Gemini. Gemini, though, is very different, right? So think about it. A Virgo you may know and love. Like, how different are they from that Gemini person you may know or love, right? Well, they're pretty different. Gemini is much more sociable because Gemini is an air sign, right? Mercury in an air sign is more sociable um, and just more dynamic generally. But Virgo is an earth sign, a feminine earth sign. So you're going to get more of the practical side of Mercury. You're going to get more of the helpful side of Mercury, even. How many Virgos do you know that are just generally really very service oriented, very helpful individuals? I mean, that's really a true Virgo in my mind, as someone who is of service. You know, they may work in a service type career, they may be a professional in a helping profession, working with people, you know, serving them, whether it's waiting on tables or serving them as, you know, a doctor or a lawyer or some other kind of professional. And so Mercury, you know, can also be very analytical. And in Virgo, especially, Mercury is very discerning. Okay, so that's where you get the reputation for Virgos being picky um, and perfectionistic. You know, that Mercury is really being very discerning in the sign, in the Earth sign of Virgo. So we are entering, tomorrow is actually the new moon, tomorrow night, here in this location. So we're looking at a whole lunar cycle that is going to be imbued with these Virgo energies. So a good time, to get yourself organized, to sort of get your ducks in a row. Um, and I think that you often see this time of year a lot of like yard sales, garage sales, that kind of thing. Mercury, in addition to Virgo, in addition to being the energy that likes to look for a bargain and sort through things, it's just transactional, like the exchange of money, commerce, that type of thing. So, um, yeah, and Virgo season is what? It's almost the end of the wheel of the year, right? So think about, during ancient times or medieval times when, the crops were about to be harvested, right? But before that, what do you have to do? You got to like really get everything organized and in order, right? You got to, get your storage spaces all ready for to bring in the crops for winter. And, you just need to be organized to make sure that you could get to market on time. And so a lot of things are put into place during Virgo season for the end of the harvest, for the final harvest, which of course comes um, into Libra and Scorpio, right? So, it's the end of the summer, making sure that, all the equipment is working, and all of your staff is ready to, tackle that harvest. And so, think about all of those ideas sort of in modern terms. This is sort of what archetypally we're being asked to do during this time. It's back to school, like so many programs, begin or start in September. The beginning of something that comes to fruition generally by the end of the year. So I don't know. I don't know how you feel about Virgo season. This year I'm really looking forward to it, but generally I personally feel kind of melancholy this time of year. The Indian summer, I love summertime, so the Indian summer is kind of a bittersweet time for me personally. But okay, so we have a new moon in Virgo, so all of those Virgo energies, but with the new moon. So the beginning of a new moon cycle, the beginning of a lunar cycle. So we all know, right, in this enchanted community, that new moons are times to set intentions. So it's ideal, certainly, to identify an intention that can really harvest and take advantage of these Virgo energies that, the enchanted universe has served up for us this time of year. So, all those Virgo things, getting organized, getting things in line, sorting through things, prioritizing things, a new beginning that's just a little bit more, should I say organized again? I'll say it again. A little bit more organized, or just things that are maybe even a little bit methodical, and sort of planned out and practical. Practical, that's a word I want to use. So, what are your new moon intentions that fit along those themes? So, but this new moon right here, guess what? It's trining exactly this Uranus in Taurus. Okay, so what do we know about a trine? A trine is a triangle, right? So, and a triangle is flowing energy. So, unlike the other aspects in astrology that are more tension oriented, being the opposition and the square, the trine and also the sextile, 90 degrees. 120 degrees is the trine. 60, half of that is the sextile. They're both flowing aspects. So the energy between the planets flows smoothly, right? There's not the tension of the push and pull of the opposition or just the friction of the 90-degree square. Okay, so what are we talking about when we have this new moon in Virgo trining the planet of Uranus? Okay, we know Uranus is the planet of revolution, is the planet of change, is the planet of enlightenment and breakthrough moments, right? It's very forward thinking. So, but it can also be unpredictable and can bring you change that is unexpected. It can bring you flashes of insight. So, we've got this electrifying energy mixed in with this new moon in Virgo, right? But it's in earth signs, which is interesting. Uranus in an earth sign can be a little bit pressured, right? Think of earthquake, right? Things like that. You're still going to get that disruption, but it's going to be um, a little bit more forced in some ways. Like it's going to like have sort of a build up to it before it releases. That's what I think about with Uranus in an Earth sign. But Uranus is going to be in this sign of Taurus for quite some time. It moves very, very, very slowly. So, you know, it's not something that we notice on a daily basis. Um, but we do see trends over time, right? So and one of the trends that I have noticed with, and that other astrologers have commented on with Uranus and an Earth sign, is like all the new thoughts about the new Earth, about really pushing the idea of climate activism, and I think about too like the resurgence of plant medicines. I think that's a very Uranus and Earth sign type of um, phenomena in my mind. It totally describes the archetype of Uranus in an earth sign, like bringing something new, although it's really old, but bringing something otherwise, you know, not known to the general public, very much to the public awareness, right? And that's all the healing around psychedelic therapies and plant medicines generally. So, but back to this new moon. So, what does that mean for this new moon? Well, I think that one way we might see it, or even tap into the archetypal energies of this Uranus trining this Virgo new moon, is to be aware that it's an opportunity, yeah, to be practical, but to bring in new ideas at the same time. Uranus being the new ideas, right? And it may be that this new moon brings you something unexpected by way of like you totally weren't expecting to have some type of a windfall, related to whatever house, your new moon would fall in. So, what we want to do now, guys, is look at, of course, like we always do, based on rising sign, where is Virgo in your chart? What house, right? And then also Taurus, right? So we can look at, okay, the new moon is going to light up these topics in your life, okay, based on what a house it falls in. So let's go ahead and go through that. And I have no idea who's with me because my comments aren't working at all. At all. Like, I don't have a single comment here. So if you're commenting on YouTube, I'm not getting it. If you're commenting on Facebook, I'm not getting it. And I really just don't know what's going on here. I will figure this out this week. I'm afraid to click around too much. I might screw something up, but I can't figure it out right now why it's doing that. And okay, so, but I know, okay, we both moved to YouTube. Can you see our comments? No. So Kathleen and Anne, no, I can't see your comments. So I've got 5 people on. 2, Kathleen and Anne. So anybody else on, let us know. Go ahead and pop a comment in, and then Anne, if you can let me know who you see, that would be great. And I'm gonna just have to manage comments here from my phone. Okay, so yeah, so I know that Kathleen and Anne are, or at least Kathleen is on both Facebook and YouTube. So if you guys comment in there, they will pass on to me by messenger that you're here with us, and we can read for you too. based on your rising sign. But for now, I'm just going to start with Taurus because that's who I know is here. But I know there's someone else here because I can see that I got 5 people here. All right, so let's move this to Taurus rising. Okay. All right, so then this puts the new moon in your 5th house, ladies. Kathleen and Anne, you both have Taurus rising. So, wow, that's interesting, right? 5th house. Tell me what 5th house is. We know what 5th house is. It's creativity, it's pleasurable pursuits, it's children, it's if you're a gambler, it's gambling or any type of speculation. But generally, I think of creativity and children as 5th house stuff, or just whatever you do for fun, right? So with the new moon in Virgo there in your 5th house, that's lovely, right? You can definitely move with those energies. And, you know, it's trining that Uranus that's been going through your 1st house forever, ladies. So this really is an opportunity for you to get creative and put your personal stamp on something if you're so inclined, right? Because it's just a beautiful way to pull in the 5th 1st house trine, is to take advantage of this opportunity to you know, shine your light and even if you choose to be on the stage or just otherwise create something beautiful or fun or uniquely you, really is what I want to say. And you know, you could be in for some unexpected surprises, right? With that Uranus being activated with this new moon. You know, you could be going out to have a good time, you know, maybe to a little party or host one yourself. And wow, you know, there could be some like pleasant surprise that comes as a result of it. Or perhaps through, you know, whatever it is you're doing creatively, you know, all of a sudden you're just full of ideas and insights and, you know, you're not lacking at all for originality, right? So this is the new moon energies that you're moving with, right? All through this lunar cycle. And the lunar cycle is going to culminate with the full moon on the 20th. So think about, you know, from now through the 20th, you know, how you might want to work with these energies. And also, you know, what also is down here in your 5th house is this Mars there. And Mars is activating all of what I just was talking about, right? So you've got the planet Mars who's working hard for you in that 5th house in the sign of Virgo. So, you know, he's not going to be there a whole lot longer. He's going to move into Libra, where he's not going to be quite as comfortable in Venus's house, but he can be very productive right now. He, she, whatever, it's an archetypal expression. But the planet Mars really is activating. It's not, you know, so much blending as strongly with the energies of the new moon like Uranus is, but you know, Mars is still there being an activating force, right? And Mars is also trining. So here's how I do it, guys. Just count four 30-degree signs, and that's your trine, right? So if you've got Virgo here, if you count 1, 2, 3, 4, that's Cap. So Mars to 1, 2, 3, 4 to Cap. That's Mars trining Pluto there. Mars, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 times 3 times 1. Right, trining that Pluto. So that's really given a lot of energy to Mars, who really wants to activate that 5th house for you guys. So that's going on as well. And that's what I want to say about the new moon for Taurus rising. Anybody else we want to read for here? Let me go back. Chloe. Chloe is on with us too. Okay, Chloe, that's you and me. Chloe, we can. Okay. All right. So Chloe asks, how does all of this affect Capricorn? Well, Miss Chloe, here on Spirit Throw Me Bone, when we talk astrology and we go through everybody's charts, we do it by rising sign because then we know exactly what house we're talking about when whether it's, a planet creating a certain aspect, or in this case, the new moon. Um, if we know your rising sign, and we do, your rising sign is Libra, um, we know what house it's in. And that's more important than like, what's this mean for a Capricorn? Okay. So forecasting with astrology, it's best to do it, in my opinion, based on rising sign. So that's how we do it here. Okay. So let's look then at Libra rising. There we go. Okay, so, and I knew this. So, our Virgo house is the 12th house. Libra rising's Virgo house is the 12th house. And the 12th house is the house of transcendence, to put it nicely. Or hidden, not hidden, yeah, hidden enemies and the shadow and all things that are just kind of out of reach and lurking beneath the surface. But active nonetheless. Okay, so a new moon in the 12th house is just really kind of highlighting, what's kind of hanging on there in terms of, the unconscious, or, it can trigger shadow experiences or thoughts. It's good for the 12th house placements. When triggered, the 12th house, when triggered, is good for like entering a period of introspection, meditation. Like, I think of like going on sort of like a silent meditation retreat. Not that I would ever do such a thing, because I don't think I would be successful at that. But the 12th house is where you go to get away from it all as well. So, and then, so, with this new moon there, we know that it's just going to be maybe a little bit more of a reclusive time for the Libra risings, right? But there could be some really big aha moments coming from that trine that with Uranus up here in the 8th house, which is again another house that is has like a hidden agenda, for lack of a better word, right? The subconscious or the unconscious is very active and very much a part of the archetype of 8th house topics. So, things could come out of nowhere, related to perhaps other people's resources, or debts owed, or debts owed, or debts that need to be paid to you. Those are 8th house type topics. It's money, but not like money that you earn, but money that comes from another source, like, I don't know, like an inheritance, or an insurance payout, or something like that. That's 8th house money kind of stuff. But 8th house generally is debts owed, debts paid, inheritances, can actually even mean death, and or some type of transformative, regenerative type experience. Okay, so that's pretty deep, right? So when you're talking about a new moon in the 12th house, which is like where the shadows hide, trining the 8th house, so think about it positively. Like jewels of wisdoms could bubble up from the shadows, or from beneath the surface, or just unexpected insight is what Uranus might bring us. Okay, so yeah, and again, so these new moon energies, we're moving with them from now through September 20, when we hit the full moon which will be in Pisces. Okay, so anybody else out here that I don't know of? Yeah, oh gosh. Just checking one more time. Okay, guys. What do you say? What do you say we pull a card, right? Let's pull a card here for this new moon cycle. And what I'm going to do is put on some background music and get my cards because I don't think they're down here. Okay, so now maybe you can even hear me too. Okay, so, okay. Okay, so I just got the majors here. Is my music too loud? Okay. So we're going to pull from the majors, and we're going to pull a card that's going to be our guide for this new moon cycle. Or should we just do it for a week? Let's see, what's next week? The 12th? Okay, let's just do it for this week. This coming week until next Sunday's stream. Okay, so here's the thing. This is just from the majors, number one. Number two, we're just looking for a card that's going to give us some insight about what to expect this coming week. Okay, so, but what I want you guys to do is remember what our card is for the week, and look for ways that the archetype expresses itself, both literally and archetypally, right? So, you know, sometimes you get a card and then, like, I pull 2 cards a day, and sometimes one or both of the cards that I get, like, I will see something or do something that is a literal expression of the card itself. You know, I'll try to give you an example of that after we pull this card. But but I need you all to put your intention in this draw with me, okay? And if you want to guess what the card is, you can put a guess in the comments what we're going to pull. Again, we're only pulling from the majors. There's 22 majors in the deck. Our card, guys. It's the Moon card. Light is bad. Can't really. There you go. How about that? What if I put it really close to the camera? It doesn't want to focus on it because it's focusing on me. There you go. The Moon. Okay. Well, what does that mean? Well, the Moon is kind of a tricky card in the tarot, I think. You know, it can really symbolize things that are hidden, right? Like, Chloe, for you and I, the 12th and 5th house action of this new moon, this Moon card really describes those kind of energies. You know, on this card, you've got like this crustacean coming up out of the water, you know, coming up out of the depths, out of the 8th house, out of the 12th house maybe. And then, you know, the water being like, you know, things that still waters run deep kind of thing. So, but things are not always as they appear to be with the Moon card. And so yeah, it can be like an emotional time or a time of just like tears and, you know, sort of angsty time. But it can also really be a time where you can go deep and connect with like deep self. But the Moon card, she can be a bit tough. So I'd be interested to hear next week what your experiences might be of that, of this Moon card over the week. I'm gonna cheat a little bit here and see what Steampunk Tarot has to say about the Moon card, because, you know, I love Barbara Moore's interpretation. She's the author of the Steampunk Tarot. So let's see what she says about the Moon. That's the star, not the Moon. Here we go. The Moon. A situation of flux and uncertainty, fraught either with deception or the revealing of important truths. Okay, so I think I was on the right track when I was giving my interpretation of the Moon. The Moon warns you that things are not as they seem. You should take nothing at face value. You must question everything. You should consider waiting before deciding your next move. On another level, the Moon is a place of inspiration and imagination. You can see and experience things you've never dreamt of before. The only things you'll find here are those you bring with you. While our conscious selves are busy building things that may become our own personal devils, our subconscious selves are also busy creating. The activities of the subconscious help us assimilate the experiences of our lives into our worldview, solve problems, and heal emotional wounds via dreams, intuitive and psychic flashes, and communication with the divine. As with all things, the realm of the subconscious has its dark side. In tarot, this realm is revealed in a manner of speaking in the Moon card. When the High Priestess sometimes communicates with dreams, the Moon's language is nightmares. The High Priestess lifts the veil on the mysteries. The Moon sprinkles confusion. The High Priestess's gift ultimately is wisdom. The Moon is much more complicated. Well, thank you very much. Oh, the irony of attempting to speak of the Moon with clarity. The Moon represents the kind of darkness that promises hidden treasures where there are really dangers and alerts you to monsters when none are there. It shows everything as other than it is. On the mundane level, it warns you that things are not as they seem, that you should take nothing at face value. Yeah, we read about that. Okay, there you go, that tricky Moon. I don't know, guys. You ready for a week full of Moon? Aren't you glad we just only pulled it for a week instead of for the whole lunar cycle like I thought maybe we would in the beginning? Okay. All right. I'm checking here. Messages again, and we have someone else joining us. Okay. All right. Well, I hope you're enjoying commenting back and forth with one another. I can't see your comments, but that doesn't mean you guys can't communicate on the comments, and I hope that you are, because we are the Enchanted Community, so you know, we like to stay connected with one another and participate, right? So I think that's all I got for you guys tonight. So we talked about this Virgo new moon that's trining Uranus. So yeah, a big dose of Virgo, earthy, mercurial Virgo, you know, getting a shot in the arm from unpredictable lightning strike Uranus, right? So that's our new moon, folks. And then we pulled the moon card to get us through the next week. So what was that message? Things aren't quite what they seem to be. Be prepared for things to bubble up from the surface, and that it can be inspirational, but also, you know, it's kind of hard to figure out the message, I guess. And what did she say, Barbara Moore? You know, there's not a whole lot of clarity with the moon. So we'll find out more about that next week when you guys share with us how your week has gone, rolling with that archetype and rolling with these new moon energies that we're going to have around for a couple of weeks. So what do you say, guys? Thank you so much for joining me tonight. You know, if you are on YouTube and, you know, you hit that like button, I'd very much appreciate it. And I know that you all have subscribed, but, you know, there's that bell there as well, like next to where the like is, I think close to that is that bell. So if you hit that bell on YouTube, then it'll give you an alert whenever we go live here on Spirit Thermia Bone. So even if you don't get my text, or, you know, you're not on Facebook and you know, you don't see like the event there or whatnot, you'll get that flash message that we're live whenever we go live. So that's really helpful to make sure you don't miss us at all. And for those of you who haven't already joined us on Facebook, you know, we're STMB on Facebook, right? And so hit that like button, hit it on Facebook, hit it on YouTube, please. I very much appreciate it. And just was reading your message, Kathleen. Thank you for sending that. So yeah, hit the like button. Give us a like. So right now, let's go on over to open up the circle. We're gonna, as my Jersey husband would say, we're gonna blow this pop stand soon. Okay. over here. Okay, we're going to go in the opposite direction to release the circle, okay? And we're going to thank the 4 elements in the 4 directions. By the earth that is her body. By the waters of her living womb. By the fire of her bright spirit. And by the air that is her breath. Thank you, East. As above, so below. The circle is open. Thank you, folks. Again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me tonight. And we will see you same time next week, same enchanted time, same enchanted channel. Until then, be well, be true, be sacred, be you.